Okay. All righty. We'll give everybody one more minute to come on, and then we'll get started. All righty. I think some people were having a little hard time because I had another Zoom and I had to get rid of that flyer because it was an old ID number for the Zoom. I was like, oh no. So make sure everybody has the correct one. Give me one moment. Alrighty. Alrighty. So we're gonna get started, y'all. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Demeshia Jordan Williams. I am the founder of FreeMe Incorporated nonprofit, where we provide group support, awareness, and resources for women and their family that are dealing with postpartum depression and just life in general. Tonight we have our virtual financial literacy community workshop with LA South Chambers financial team. We have Karen Foster, who is a empowering American dreams through home ownership, real estate and wellness building or wealth building, I should say. And we have Christina A. Can you pronounce your last name for me? Windsor? I don't want to say it wrong.
That's okay, Wentzel.
Wentzel. Okay, Miss
Yeah, yeah.
Christina A. Windsor, from Law Office of Christina A. Windsor, and she's going to teach us about wills and trusts and ex sorry,
Estate
estate
planning.
estate planning. Sorry.
Mhm.
Trying to get it out, y'all. So yes, so tonight, like I said, we're going to talk about financial wealth building and just the financial literacy because I believe a lot of people, if even if we do get this information, some of us get this information later in life, some of us get this information with early in life. So what I'm trying to do with this nonprofit is just provide that information, regardless if a person has that financial literacy, wealth building, generational wealth building attitude, I should say. Either, like I said, if they had it earlier in life or if they have it later in life, or if they don't know about it at all. So I'm trying to open that door up for people to get that get that information in. And if they have any questions, you guys are more than welcome to ask them to our experts, later on, after the Zoom or after they speak. So yes, so I want to just say a quick prayer real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We ask that you would calm our nerves, that you will help every speaker just speak through them and speak through me. Help us to touch someone's life and help us to just do your will and just allow this Zoom to just be amazing. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All righty. So let's get started. Like I said, I came up with this nonprofit because I'm wanting to bring families back together again and build that support system and let people know that family is about unity and partnership and supporting one another and encouraging one another and having each other's back. And regardless, like I said, if we understand financial literacy or not, I still want to make sure that at least we know something, and we learned something tonight. And later on when it's uploaded on Zoom, people can go back and listen, in case they forgot something or they didn't, understand anything. They can always email me information or a question, and I will definitely, reach out to our guest speakers and we'll answer those questions. And so, yes, there we have it. All right. So I do have one scripture. It's First Timothy 6:10. It says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, And to me, that means that it's not saying that God is saying that money is evil. It's saying that the love of money might be evil. So it's not saying that people can't get wealthy and people can't learn about wealth and learn about you know, money and all that stuff. It's just saying that we can't, put that above our family and our children and our health and all that and think that, oh, I just money is going to solve everything. It might. But we still have to be there, for our family and support each other and just love each other and be there for one another. I do have another one that says that what's good for, or it says Matthew 16:26. It says, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And so basically that's kind of, to me, that's the same thing, letting money take over our family. We're working too hard and we're not, there for our families. Our kids have sports and soccer, but we're putting our jobs and our careers, over our family and over our, our health, going to work, knowing good and well we're not, well, but we're like, oh, I gotta go work, and you're working 7 days a week and don't have a break, and we just gotta breathe and just let life happen and just, do what we gotta do, but still get our money. Still do what we got to do. All right. So let's see. There is a parable in the Bible where it shows that God talks about like talents, and talents are basically like large units of like sums of money, and he gave a person 5 bags of gold, and another person, 2 bags of gold, another person 1 piece of gold, or I guess. And so the person that he gave the 5 talents to, that lump of money, that person actually went and prospered and did other things with it, traded it, bought things, sold it, whatever, and he ended up having 5 more talents. And then the person that actually had one, he hid his talent. And so to me, that's saying, it's not just saying about money. It could be talents, something that you're good at, but you're hiding it and you're not allowing the world, to see what you're good at, whether you're a person who does wills and trusts and, stuff like that, or if you work in real estate, or if you're a singer or a teacher, if you're hiding those talents, like I said, talents don't always have to be money. It can be things that you're really good at and could really help our community, can really touch people's lives. And what I'm saying is, long story short, is don't hide your talents. Don't hide what God gave you and what God is, needing you to do, or, stuff like that. So don't hide your talents. If you're good at something, tell the world. Help one person and they might help another person. But just don't hide your talents, y'all. Don't hide your money or your talents. All right. So let's see. So I guess I'll just leave you guys with this real quick, and then we will bring in our first speaker. Like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about building legacy and generational wealth and real estate and financial wealth building. And we're going to learn, like I said, the importance of wills and trust and estate planning. And, like I said, some of the stuff I do know and some of the stuff I don't know, but I'm going to learn tonight from our guest speakers, the importance of these things and why they're important to have these things in place for ourselves and for our families, and for generations to come. So tonight we have, let's see, sorry, I have my paper. We have Christina A. Welch. She has the lawyer office of Christina A. Welch, and like I said, she does wills and trusts and estate planning, and so I will let her give us her spiel. Thank you.
Thank you. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm off mute, right? You can hear
Yes.
me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So yes, as Jordan mentioned, I'm an estate planning attorney and I practice here in Los Angeles. Born and raised in Los Angeles. I've been practicing I actually started my own practice in about 2019 officially. Prior to that, I was working with another estate planning attorney in Santa Monica. I love what I do. I love helping my clients. I love getting to learn about them and their families. Everyone is unique and has different circumstances. Um, and as you mentioned, a lot of people, there are some families who are young that do know about estate planning and the importance of it, and then some that don't, or some that don't get it done until later in life, which is fine. Everyone goes at their own pace. But it is very important to have. It's very important to make sure you have a plan in place for your family and for yourself. Um, if you want to pull up, Jordan, the PowerPoint, I can show
Okay.
why it's important to have an estate plan.
Okay. Oh, let me go to share screen. Hold
Yeah.
on.
So I don't know if you guys have heard of probate, or have experienced that yourself.
No, I
Um,
don't think I have.
So yeah, so probate is a process where the court gets involved when someone passes away. And if that person that passed away didn't have an estate plan in place, then they have to get involved to basically inventory all the assets, look to see what debts were owed by this person, if there's any taxes that need to be paid. Um, Sorry, I think I'm skipping ahead, but probate could be a very expensive process and time consuming as well. Um, Ultimately, it means less inheritance for your heirs because what happens is the court has to liquidate their assets to pay the attorney probate fees, as well as the executor that's appointed to manage the estate. Um, so, one of the reasons an estate plan is so important is you want to avoid probate. That's usually the main reason. Especially here in California. California is extremely expensive when it comes to probate expenses. Um, it also helps you to avoid potential family conflict. Um, and because if there's a probate involved, that leaves room for potential heirs or family members that come forward and say, I should get this, I should get that. If you have a plan in place and you have your instructions written and signed by you, you can avoid that. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. It still can happen, but it's less likely to happen. Um, the other importance of an estate plan is it not only prepares you in the event that you become incapacitated or pass away, but it prepares your family members, because then they know that you have a plan in place. Should something happen, they can step in and manage your affairs. So it really gives peace of mind both to my clients and their family. Um, so let's see. Let's talk about the statutory. You want to go to the statutory fees, Jordan? Sorry, I'm kind of going out of order here. That's my fault. I think the statutory fees is the third slide. So basically, in California, when a probate is involved, the probate attorney is entitled to statutory fees. And that's based on the value of the estate. So all of the assets that you own, that's based on that value. So in California, the first $100,000 is 4%. Excuse me. The next 100,000 is 3%. The next 800,000 is 2%, and so on and so on. And so you can imagine that it can get really expensive here in California because a house alone is in California is worth a significant amount. And so let's look at the next slide and I'll show you a quick breakdown. So let's say that you own a home here in California and it's valued at 600,000. This is just a simple example. You have a savings account worth 40,000, you have a checking account that's worth 10,000, so total that's 650,000. Based on the statutory fee, the percentages, that means a total of $32,000 in fees. And half of that goes to the probate attorney, and the other half can go to the executor that's appointed by the court. And so it that's only if they decide to take the fee, the executor. The probate attorney will take the fee for sure. Um, and you compare that to getting a plan on your own while you're living, And every attorney is different, every firm is different, so the fees vary depending on where you go. Um, for me, I tend to keep my fees reasonably low. And for the simple reason I'm trying to reach more individuals, because I know that it can be very expensive for many families. Um, so, it's a couple $1,000s with a law firm. For me, my starting rate is 2,500, just to let you know, versus something like 32,000 or more. So it can be very expensive to go through probate. So the next slide. So what else can a trust do? Well, one of the main things that a trust can do is it can protect your home from Medi-Cal recovery. So if you're a beneficiary of Medi-Cal, what can happen is when you pass away, the government's entitled to reimbursement, but they're only entitled to reimbursement of certain assets. And those assets are anything that goes through probate. So if you have a trust and your assets are titled in the name of the trust, those assets don't go through probate. So that means they cannot collect from those assets. So very important to have. Again, protection at incapacity. So if you don't, if let's say, for example, you're in a car accident and you're in the hospital in a coma, unfortunately, life doesn't stop. You still have your mortgage that needs to be paid. You still have your bills. If taxes come due, those need to be paid. So what happens if you don't have an estate plan? There's no one there to manage your affairs. So it's very important to have your estate plan to make sure someone can step in and make sure everything that you do on a daily basis is still getting done. The alternative to that would be, of course, having to get the court involved again, go through a conservatorship, which again is time consuming and very costly and stressful to your family members. Um, and so let's just look at some of the documents involved. So obviously, we're talking about the trust. There are other documents involved with an estate plan. One of them is the pour over will. And the pour over will has two main purposes. One is it acts as a safety net. So let's say, for example, you do have a trust, but 10 years later, you open a small checking account. And at your passing, the checking account is not titled in your trust. Well, what the pour over will does is it acts as a net and it makes sure that those assets that are not in your trust get distributed based on what your trust says. So it puts it in the trust. The other main purpose of a will is to name guardians for your minor children. Very important to have if you have any minor children. Otherwise, if you don't, then the court will have to appoint someone for you. So, for me, that was the most important aspect of my estate plan because I I wouldn't want just anyone to raise my son. So very important to have. The next document is the power of attorney for finances. I think there's a slide there for that. Yeah, it's the next one. So the power of attorney for finances, there's actually two documents that I recommend anyone that's 18 years of age or older has these two documents. One of them is the power of attorney for finances, and the other one is the healthcare directive, which I'll talk about in a minute. But the power of attorney for finances, it does protect you at incapacity. It allows your agent to manage the assets that are not in your trust. So, for example, generally we don't put retirement accounts or life insurance policies in a trust. So if they had to, they could manage those assets. There are differences between this document and the trust itself. So one is that it doesn't have any provisions about who your beneficiaries are. You're not leaving assets to anyone. And the other one is that it terminates at your death, whereas the trust continues on even after your death, and ultimately it terminates when the assets are distributed. Again, the alternative to this is so if you don't have this document and something happens and you don't have capacity to manage your affairs, then a conservatorship has to be sought through the courts. And then the last document, which I wanted to mention, is the healthcare directive. Again, if you're 18 years of age or older, you need this document. This allows your agent to deal with your doctors in the event that you don't have capacity. And basically, it's a list of instructions where you can say, whether you want to be an organ donor, whether you have any arrangements with any university or hospital for organ donation, whether you want life-sustaining treatment or not, if there's any medical care that you can't have for maybe religious beliefs. You could even specify on there if you want to be cremated or if you have your burial arrangements made. So another very important to have, important document. Again, if you're 18 years of age or older, I highly recommend getting your healthcare directive and your power of attorney done. And so that's it. That's just a quick and brief discussion of the importance of an estate plan. And I left my information in the last slide. So if you wanted to reach out, I do offer free consultations for anyone that has questions and wants to see if they need to get their estate plan done. And this is my information. So my phone number and my email are up there. And that's it. If anyone wants to share their stories about probate, I always love to hear those stories.
Okay, I have one. My sister and I actually went through it and we're done. But there was no arguments, there was nothing. It was smooth as silk.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
yeah, my mom passed away in 2023. And she didn't have a will.
Hmm.
There's a house. So, my sister and I equally have inherited the house, according to the judge. And
Hmm.
but my sister lives there, and because she was living there before, and I was like, "What? Just continue," because the price of housing in LA is ridiculous, and we wanted to keep
Yeah.
the house in the family. So, but as far as probate, it was just nothing. But I know why. It's because my sister and I had no arguments, and
Hmm.
it just went zoom. I think it may have taken, well, it took maybe a year and a half
Yeah.
for it to go through for the judge to sign, but we had a good experience.
Well, that's good. I think
Hmm.
that's not as common as I think usually it's the other way around, but that's really good. Do you mind me asking what the fees were, the probate fees?
Oh gosh, I can't remember because the lady we used, she's like a law. She wasn't a lawyer. She's like a paralegal. She's
Uh-huh.
paralegal, and I think we paid her maybe 1,200.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. Hmm.
Wow.
I
That's
know.
okay.
It was kind of, she was a family friend, and
Uh-huh.
I was like, really? That's it? Because I did talk to someone else, and I think it would have been maybe twice that much, I believe, or maybe it would have been more. But no, she's a paralegal, and she's really good, and
Was the
that's
home here and you said it was here in California?
yeah, it's in LA. Yeah,
Oh,
Linwood.
okay.
It's in Linwood.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
not far from there. Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. I think that's a rare case, but I'm glad
Yes.
glad for you that it was an easy process.
Yeah, it was easy.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
Can I,
good.
can I ask a question?
Sure.
I had a power of attorney, but I lived in California, but now I currently live in Texas. Do I need to get a new power of attorney since I'm in a different state?
I would recommend that you probably sit with so you live in a different state now?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I would recommend that you sit with because every state's different, the laws are different. So I would recommend that you sit with an estate planning attorney there and and get their advice on that.
Okay.
Because
Thank
even with probate, so in California, probate it can be very expensive and time consuming, but not all states are like that. So which is why some people in other states don't get their estate plan done because it's not really a difficult process for them. But here in California, it's significantly different. But yeah,
Okay.
I would sit with an attorney there.
Okay. Because I currently have a power of attorney and advance directive from California for my oldest daughter, but I'm not sure if it would be good still Texas. It should be good
Yeah,
anyway, right? No?
I would talk with them. Since you're living in Texas now, I would definitely speak with someone there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions?
All right.
Or if you have questions in
Mhm.
private, you can always call or email me.
And I'll definitely send everybody your information too. If you can put, Christina, if you could put your information in the chat also, I'm gonna put
Oh,
mine
sure.
there too.
Okay.
So if you guys haven't, like she said, if you have any questions, you can reach out to her and she does the consultation and, just call her up. Set an appointment. Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Christina. You guys make sure you guys stay to the end because we're gonna do some more question and answers and we're gonna do a giveaway. And right now I'm just gonna speak kind of on my experience, how I came up with this nonprofit and who I am. And so Miss Christina, I thank you. And don't get off the line because we're still gonna be asking
Oh,
you more questions.
I won't.
Yes. And everybody, if you're on, make sure you put yourself on mute. And so yes. So everybody, like I said, my name is Demeshia Jordan Williams. I am the founder of FreeMe Incorporated nonprofit. Like I said, where we provide group support, awareness, and resources for women and their families that are dealing with postpartum. And like I said, not just postpartum, just life in general. We've started a new program called the Men's Wellness Branch, where we have, a guest speaker who's actually over. Well, we have one of our team members who is a male. He's a vet and he's a father, and he like once a month he will be doing our men's wellness branch. So when you guys have any, men or fathers or grandpas or sons that, just want to get more support and more resources, we have that now in FreeMe Incorporated um nonprofit organization. There we go. So like I said, introduce myself. My name is Demeshia Jordan Williams. I am a Christian woman. I am a mother. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I am a artist. I am a creator. I am an author. I am a fashion stylist. I'm a poet. I am a former teacher. I used to be a teacher. I worked with toddlers all the way up until school age. I am also a member and a certified member of the LA South Chamber. I am alumni of West Los Angeles College, where I received my liberal arts, behavioral, and social science degree. Like I said, I am alumni of the Art Institute, where I received my fashion degree. And I've also received sorry, I'm reading my paper. I also received my certificate from the Black Girls Maternity Mental Health Training Institute, where I received my maternity mental health peer support specialist certificate. So like I said, just trying to help women and mothers and families, either try to help them overcome or give them the resources or the knowledge on what postpartum is, and if they're dealing with it, how to allow their family to, help and know what to look out for when their loved one is dealing with or overcoming or going through postpartum. Um, so let's see. My testimony, I was married. I went through a divorce. I dealt with postpartum myself. And in terms of that, in the beginning, when I was dealing with postpartum, I asked God to help me overcome postpartum. And the thing that He dropped in my spirit, I say this on all the platforms that I've spoke on already and interviews I've done. He said, once you overcome postpartum, He wanted me to start a nonprofit to help other women overcome postpartum. And told the Lord, I said, I got you, Lord. I got you. I will do that. I will do that. And so that is exactly what I did. I started a nonprofit to help women dealing with postpartum. We have Instagram. Like I said, I'll put my information in the chat. We have a YouTube channel where we upload all of the community workshops and community conferences that we do so that people that have missed these workshops, like today, if anybody missed it, I'll upload it later and they can watch it on their lunch break. They can watch it, or listen to it while they're in the car. Like I said, we're just giving information and just putting awareness on, or raising awareness, I should say, on postpartum, and just, just supporting one another and being there for one another. And, I think that's what it's all about, encouraging each other and supporting each other, helping each other, just get through life. It's better together. It's better together. And I feel like we can probably overcome a lot of things in life if we're, encouraging each other and helping one another, regardless if we're related to that person or not. Like I said, I will put my information in the chat. Let's see. So our goal for this nonprofit is to have monthly virtual community workshops and community conferences on just various topics. Like tonight, like I said, I wanted to shed light, I guess, on the financial like literacy, the financial, just learn about generational wealth, and if we have children or if we don't, just learning all that we can know about financial stability and real estate and wills and trusts. And, some people are, in school, they're not really talking about these things as we grow up. And so, like I said, I'm just wanting everybody to just, learn about it and, get those wills, get those trusts if you can, and stuff like that. So. And each month we'll have different guest speakers, just talking about different topics in life, from mental health to, just all kinds of topics we'll, have. And if anybody ever wants to be a guest speaker, you guys are more than welcome to, email me, and then, we'll set up a date or a meeting. And, you can, if you're talented in a different field, or if you're knowledgeable about a different topic, or of different subjects, will allow you to, speak about it on the Zooms that we have once a month. Let's see. We do have like group support, and let's see. So right now we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna do a raffle, so if everybody could put your names in the chats, so that I could do my giveaway. So come on now. So everybody put your names in the chat, and I will pick a winner. Winner, winner. And if anybody have any questions or anything they would like to ask Miss Christina or myself. And we do have Miss Karen that's going to be coming on in a minute, about talking about real estate and wealth building, once she gets on. All right, all right. Let's see them names. I see some names. All right, so the winner I have chose, I'm just gonna spell her name. It's Miriam. And if you guys want to take yourself off of mute real quick. So is it Mareem? I don't want to say it wrong, y'all.
Okay.
Miriam.
Miriam.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
You are our winner, so you have won FreeMe Incorporated t-shirt. I will be mailing this to you, so if you can,
Okay.
email me.
Wonderful.
Yes, yes. If you can email me your address, I will put
Okay.
my information, like I said, in the chat right now. Email me your address, and I will send you this beautiful shirt to represent FreeMe
Aw.
Incorporated nonprofit. And I thank you for coming on. I thank all you guys for coming on
You're
tonight.
welcome.
Yay! Woo! Woo,
Yay,
woo,
thank
woo,
you.
woo. How do you pronounce your name? I didn't want to say it wrong. So how do you
It's
pronounce your name?
it's Miriam.
Miriam. Well, thank you, Miriam.
Miriam
And where
in
are
the
you
Bible.
from? Are you from LA? Are you from
No, I'm
another
from
state?
Oakland, California.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
Oakland. Woo, woo. All right. Congratulations, Miss
Thank
Miriam. Let me
you.
make sure I write your name down because I want to make sure that you get your shirt.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you have any questions for Miss Christina or anybody, or for myself, or?
I'm sure I will, but not at the moment.
Got it. No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. So I'm writing your information down. All right, Miss Miriam. I thank you. I thank you all for coming on. I appreciate it. Let's see. Make sure I'm writing this correctly. Okay, cool, cool. So yes, let me put my information in the chat for y'all. Let's see. All right, and we have Miss Karen Foster, who I will be bringing on in a second. Hello, Miss Karen. All right, let me put my information in the chat. Miss Christina, make sure you put your information in the chat. And Miss Karen, make sure you put your information in the chat too, so people can, reach out to you if they have any questions or if they want to, um, get more information or set up appointment or have a consultation, all that good stuff. All right, all right. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick little joke. Every conference and workshop that I have, I love to tell a joke. I feel like laughter is good for the health. So just tell a quick little little jokey joke. All right, can you guys hear me? All right. Oh, make sure you guys put yourself on mute. So the joke is, how do we know Peter was a rich fisherman? How do we know that Peter was a rich fisherman? You guys can take yourself off of mute if you want to chime in.
He found money in the mouth of a fish.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Anybody else? Anybody else? How do we know Peter was a rich fisherman? All right, all right. So it says by his net income. I know. I'm sorry.
That's a
I
good
sorry. I
one.
had to bring some
That's
jokes
a
in
good
here.
one.
By his net income. So I guess Peter, Mom, if you want to explain the story of Peter real quick, so everybody know what I'm talking about. You don't know? Okay. Anybody else want to tell a little quick story about Peter? No? Okay. All right.
Was
But
it
yeah, so
was it was it because of the fish that he caught?
yes. Yep.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
By his net income. I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to, I don't know. I just love this book. Some of these jokes might be a little corny, but I don't know. I love it. All right. So we do have Miss Karen Foster on the line. If everybody could put yourself on mute for us real quick. So Miss Karen Foster, I did give her rundown before the Zoom, but I'll just give it real quick. So she does the Empowering Your American Dream through home ownership, which is real estate and wealth building. And so I will let her, you have the floor, Miss Karen.
Thank you so much, Demeshia. And ladies, you have the most fabulous hostess. Just wanted you to know because I am literally winging it. I am in
Thank
my
you, thank you.
car, and she basically was just gracious in assisting me in multitasking because I'm coming from another convention. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate
So
you too.
so I you can start with the presentation, but just to share a little bit about myself with you ladies, my name is Karen Foster. I am a certified member of the LA South Chamber of Commerce. I am also a mortgage loan originator, real estate broker, and I have an insurance license. But tonight's focus is on the real estate and mortgages. And what I do is I help clients build generational wealth and passive incomes through real estate investments and finance. So I have a PowerPoint presentation, and it's a short one just to kind of give you an idea of what I do, what programs are out there, and empowering you and others through homeownership, with financial literacy through homeownership, and just to share some information with you, each one teach one that you're able to take back to your community, to your friends and family, and spread the word, because knowledge is power. So,
Can you guys see the screen?
yes,
Yes.
we
Okay.
can see
Awesome.
it. Okay, and as you can see, the first slide, it says empowering your American dream through homeownership. Again, I am Karen Foster. My companies are Amerifund Home Loans and EXP Realty. Next slide.
There we go.
Okay, this is my contact information, and this is the contents of tonight's presentation: why real estate, the benefits, mortgage 101, pre-qual versus pre-approved, loan programs. DPA stands for down payment assistance. That's the acronym. Working with a realtor to purchase a single family home or units. Do we have any homeowners on the call?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. I'm glad to hear it, because you are building generational wealth. So that makes me happy to hear that. Okay, you can go on to the next slide, please. Okay, why real estate? Well, as we know, real estate is one of the quickest ways to obtain wealth in America. Can you go back to the last slide, please? The previous slide. Thank you.
All right, I clicked on some. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
No worries.
Ay, ay, ay. Hold on. Bear with me,
Okay. No.
y'all. What just happened? Okay, then I'm gonna go back. Remove
Okay.
this out the
Thank
way.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think you're going forward.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna come out of it. I'm gonna do it again. What slide? Do you remember what slide that was?
The first one after the contents. Why real estate?
Okay. Was it that? No. That one?
I see your beautiful face. I don't see.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Go back. Okay. You can see the screen now?
It's populated. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Why real estate? Uh, you get a better rate of return on your money versus the stock market, because we all have seen, we've witnessed the volatility of the stock market. There are tax advantages in being a homeowner, as far as your taxes, appreciation, and of course, over time of owning the home. Leverage real estate. You can take one piece of property and grow your wealth into more properties. You can build your real estate portfolio, this is why I said diversify your portfolio. You have more control over your investment, and also capital appreciation. Okay. Next slide, please. The benefits of owning real estate, as I mentioned, ownership. Okay. With ownership, you have an asset that is yours. As renters, we are making our landlords rich, is what we're doing. I understand that California is very high compared to other states. And for some, it makes sense for them to rent versus purchasing. But I honestly believe that that's because many people are not knowledgeable of what programs are available out there. Appreciation. As your property increases in value, so does the appreciation. Okay. Your equity in a home, that's how you build wealth. Okay. You can take that equity, that's your equity, to do with as you please. You can start a business, home improvements. You can also utilize that equity to create a legacy and to pass down to your children and your children's children. Okay. Deductions. We talked about that with tax savings. There are deductions that you can take on your income tax. Predictable housing costs, financial stability. As we know that with a home, with a mortgage, if you have a fixed rate, month in, month out, you know exactly what your taxes and impounds are going to be. Whereas with renting, rents continue to increase. So you may pay a portion of rent for a specific amount of time, but at some point in time, at least here in California, rents will continue to increase. Next slide, please. Okay, mortgage 101, pre-qual versus pre-approval. It is best to get pre-approved for a loan versus pre-qualifying. The reason being with a pre-approval, the lender has taken a look at your income and assets, and we pretty much can gauge at that point in time based upon certain analysis risk factors that you are eligible to buy a home. Of course, it is also based on your credit and your income. The FICO score minimum is 300, maximum is 850. Okay. Income and assets are what we look at. W-2, we look at 2 years of your employment history, 2 most recent pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements, and other assets such as 401k. For 1099, if you are self-employed, we have 12 to 24 month bank statement programs to assist with qualifying for a loan. There's also an alternative program that's available, which is called the Dream Builder program, and it's an equity building program. The company looks at your rental history. So 12 months of your rental history, 12 months of timely payments. If you can show 12 months of timely payments, all you need is a minimum FICO score of 580. Now, this is where an entity, a HUD approved entity, buys the home for you. Okay. It's a lease, it's a model of a lease to own program. Okay. So if anyone wants to find out more about that, please feel free to reach out to me personally and we can have a conversation for the sake of time. Now, if you look at the chart to the to the right of the screen, this is what's called the credit pie chart. And this is what lenders look at, what creditors look at as far as credit cards, loans when you are applying for credit. 10%. 10% is towards your payment history. Another 10% is for new credit. 15% is the length of your credit history. 30% is the amounts owed, so the amounts that you owe on your debt, and 35%, which is the greater portion, is your payment history. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, here we get to the good stuff. As far as the loan programs, what's available out there. Aside from the traditional FHA, conventional, VA financing, and USDA financing, the city of Los Angeles is called LIPA and MIPA, which is a low-income purchase assistance and moderate income purchase assistance. The city of Los Angeles is offering first-time buyers up to Okay. The Dream for All with Shared Appreciation Loan. This is HUD, uh, a HUD down payment assistance loan, CalHAFA. It's actually coming back in 2026. The difference this year, well, it was this year, and then of course in 2026, is there is a lottery. Whereas the first time that the Dream for All program, the funds were issued, there was no, there were no specifics like there is now with the vouchers. What happened was people with six-figure incomes were taking advantage of the program, and they basically, like doctors, lawyers, they basically received a greater portion of the funds. And CalHAFA wants to eliminate that, which is why they are doing the voucher and the lottery. Okay. The alternative that I spoke about in another slide, which is the Dream Builder Equity Program, and that's the program where the entity looks at 12 months of your rental history, minimum FICO score 580. So you don't have to have perfect credit. Okay. Also, seller concessions. You can receive for FHA, USDA, conventional, and up to 6%. For VA funding, up to 4% assistance from the seller towards your closing costs. To the right of the screen, these are the programs that I am able to offer or that are available to my clients, because as a mortgage broker, I work with over 100 plus lenders. So we are able to shop for the best rates for our clients. Next, newsflash, Fannie Mae ends the credit score minimum. This is as of tomorrow, November 16th. Fannie Mae will drop its minimal FICO score requirements. So that's the 620, the minimum score for Fannie Mae, which would be FHA financing. This does not relate to conventional financing, but that 620 score that was once in place, they are removing that. So basically what that means is that there will be more flexibility for buyers. Lenders have the option to where they can do their own risk assessment. Now, the lender, as a lender, the lender still has the option to utilize their own programs as far as qualifications, but this has to, or excuse me, for a borrower approval. Okay. So it just gives, basically it gives the lenders more flexibility. So whereas before we're looking at your credit, your income, assets, now we'll be able to take into consideration like your rent. I know some landlords and property management companies now, they offer where you can pay your rent online. So those monthly payments and it can actually be added to your credit report. So those types of we can now look at those types of qualifications. Well, to help you qualify, we can look at your rental history. We can look at utilities as well. So this is what when I reference, we may look at other credit alternatives. Next slide, please. Working with a realtor. Okay, what is the benefit of working with a realtor? Realtors we have access to the MLS. Okay, we also have access to pocket listings. Those are properties that have not come to market yet. And we have a professional network of over 3,000 realtors, I believe, here in California. So actually more than that. But we have access to properties that may not be accessible to someone who was trying to do it on their own. We also adhere to a code of ethics and expertise. because I've been in this business now for 28 years. So and I pride myself on, I'm a life learner. So I pride myself on continuous education so that I am able to keep my clients abreast to the latest changes in the real estate market and laws. Your agent can actually get a better price for you as far as negotiation. There's a lot behind the scenes that people are not aware of. And I know oftentimes when the public looks at, what they see on TV or on the internet, it all looks like glitz and glamour, ladies. And if there are any gentlemen on this call, it is not like that. It is sacrifice. It is hard work. It's months of working without getting paid. But when you are dealing with someone who is uh, of that nature, cut from that cloth, you're dealing with a real person. I mean, someone who has your best interest at heart. So this is why I feel it's important to work with a professional. They understand the complexities of transactions. Like I said, transactions can be very intense. They can be overwhelming. The things that happen and go on, with the homes that people are buying. There are so many hidden, unseen things that, believe me, a person going in there and attempting to do it on their own, oh my God, it would. I have some horror stories that I could share with you, but that's for a whole nother conversation. And realtors are motivated to find you a home. That's our job. That's what we do. And it's all about helping other people achieve the American dream, get to their next level in life. And I believe that is it. That is my time. I think that's all the slides, Demeshia. Thank you so much. I thank you for your time. Thank you for working with me. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, does anybody have any questions for Miss Karen? This was good information.
I would like to say this has really been uh, informative because you brought out the new things that are coming that a lot of people don't know about is coming, and I really appreciate this because so much
Absolutely.
is changing. It seems like yearly and monthly now with the
Absolutely.
industry that it really takes your type of knowledge to get the person into the home that they can afford and would and build from. So thank you so much for this information. Thank
It
you.
is my pleasure. Thank you. And thank you for pointing that out, Darlene, because you're right. There are changes happening, especially with this administration that we have now. And I will tell you, when you see the rates drop, I mean, yeah, that's a good thing. But even with the rates dropping, there are still some complexities to the transaction because the rate may drop like a quarter of a point. That's not a huge difference, a significant difference. But I will also share with you, gone are the days of the 2%, 2.5%, 3% interest rates. We will never get to those levels again. Now we will see, and I'm basing this on industry information. Uh, by the next year in 2026, we will see rates dropping into the fives. So, what I will say to you when people ask, is now the right time to buy? Is now a good time to buy? It depends on if are you a seller? Are you a buyer? Are you an investor? Just know for California, rates are not going to I mean, the cost of housing is not going to go down. So if you are in a position to buy, even if it requires you to go in with another family member, I would suggest or recommend that you do look into it if you want to purchase in California, because obviously in other states there are lower price points.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Yes.
Are you still able to buy the rates down for your buyers?
Yes, you can. You can do a rate buy down. Now, of course, that costs as
Mm-hmm.
far as points, but you are able to do that. And you can utilize the seller concession. You can utilize some of that money to apply towards a rate buy down.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Did
is
you?
that,
Oh, I'm
I'm
about to say,
sorry.
what is a rate
That's
buy?
exactly what I was going
What
to
is
ask.
that? Sorry. A
Okay,
rate
I'm
buy
sorry. Say
down.
that again.
What is a rate
Oh,
buy down?
that's when you want to buy your rate down to a lower interest rate. Let's just say right now interest rates are 6%. You want to buy your rate down a whole point, so 5%. You're able to do that. Actually, with what lenders do, they look at it, say like a quarter point basis, but it costs at each interval. It costs, but you are able to buy your rate down, say like 6%, 5%. And I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. That was my little kid over there. No, I was going to ask,
Oh, okay. I heard a
is that
voice.
is that the same? It's not the same as refinancing.
No, it's not.
Mm,
It would literally be a purchase
okay.
at the
Okay.
time that you purchase a home. Right. Yeah,
Okay.
refinance is completely yes.
And that refinancing rate you said is really not going to go down below
Well, it
5%.
depends now with the now again with the refi, it works differently. Okay, because as you're coming in with the purchase, refinance is more of, or should I say, it is streamline, a streamlined financing. So where there's less documentation that's needed, and again, we have the option of shopping for the best rates. So let's just say um, you're refinancing, you're looking at, I'm sorry, you are doing what's called a home equity line of credit. Home equity line of credit is generally higher. So it might be somewhere between, say, 8 to 9%. So if you say to me, okay, Karen, you know what? Um, can you beat that rate of 9%? And then what I can actually do is look in my back office and then let you know if I can get you a lower rate. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but always remember with the rate buy down, that's at the time of purchasing a home.
Oh, so when we purchased our home and the refinance is going to be based on what we purchased our home on?
No, the refinance is separate. Refinances. Are you in the midst of a refinance or are you considering refinancing?
Kind of, well, because I was telling the lady before that my sister and my mom passed. So her house, we had to go through probate. It was an easy one. It was easy.
Oh,
But I'm
good.
believing if my sister if we can refinance, because we're both equal owners in the house now, the
Okay.
heirs, let's say the heirs, and if she could just get it and it would just be her home. So I was thinking if she could,
Oh,
yeah, if we could
buy you out
refinance
is
the
what it
house.
sounds like.
Buy me out. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
So
I
I
will
was
tell you, and again, and not just me, any whoever you decide to work with, we have to look at the bigger picture. So I can't
right.
just like say, okay, yeah, we can do it. It is
Right.
going to be based upon certain factors. So,
Okay.
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 All right.
Alrighty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Miss Christina has a question.
Yeah, so for that rate buyout,
Buy
I,
down.
I know I know it depends on the value of the home, I'm sure. But can you give an example of how much something like that might cost?
Let me give you an example. I sold a home earlier this year. I'm just using this because the buyer, this is an example, the buyer wanted to buy down the rate. Their rate, they were starting at 6.75%. No, yeah, 6.75%. So they were able to buy it down a quarter point. So at a quarter point, they were looking at, I believe it was about 8 to 10,000.
Mm.
And like I said, it increases as the lower you go. But
Right.
also it again, remember if you have seller concessions, you can utilize some of that money. So that takes away from what you have to come out of pocket.
Okay.
Because now for the rate buy down, if you're not using a seller concession, then yeah, that's going to have to come out of the buyer's pocket. And sometimes the lender is able to help give you credit too, or give you some credit towards your closing costs.
Right, right. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question. What is your advice on mobile homes versus condos, townhouses, and homes? What is your advice on those things?
Okay, with mobile homes, that is like financing a car. It's a separate type of financing or separate dealer. Now, this is just me, because again, the mobile home itself can be less than buying a single family home, but the land, most of California's mobile home parks are on land leases. So the land leases in California are anywhere. I've seen here in Carson, I'm in Carson right now. I've seen here in Carson where there's one park that I know of. They were at 765, which was great. But the majority of the parks are anywhere from say 1,100 up to 1,500 a month, and that doesn't include your payment on your modular home. So, and that land lease, it goes up, so you don't own the land. Now you could pick up the home itself and move it, but you cannot. Like the land it doesn't belong to you. That's the one thing that I mean I don't favor, but I'm not saying that a mobile home is not a bad way to go. Okay. Condominiums, you have the HOA. You also have the shared walls with your neighbor. And the HOA, again, California is probably one of the most expensive states. So condos are not bad, but I have seen the HOAs as much as $500 a month. And we're talking about a condo that's 900 square feet. So you have to equate that into your payment on top of your mortgage payment. And you said single family houses? You did mention
Yeah,
single family houses.
I said condos, townhomes, regular homes, or
Oh,
mobile homes.
okay.
What was like the difference
Yeah,
between all of those
okay.
things?
Well, townhomes, same thing with townhomes. Townhomes, you also have an HOA. So townhomes and condos, you have HOAs. Single family, you don't have the HOA, but you do have your taxes and insurance, your principal, and with the single family home, obviously, if it's a fixed rate, that's great because your payments will not change. But with FHA financing, well, actually conventional as well, if you put down less than 20%, you are going to have MI, which is mortgage insurance. Okay.
Okay.
So that's another factor that you have to equate into your monthly payment.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is good information.
Hi, Karen. Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am, you sure can, Helen.
Thank you. Um, I don't know if everybody understands HOAs that I'm actually a real estate agent in California, but I actually live in Texas.
Beautiful.
But
Okay.
you only own the airspace. So it's not something you tangibly own. You own airspace. The homeowners association, the outside belongs to them.
Okay.
She's absolutely right.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So you can also have a single family home and have HOA fees also, right?
Absolutely. Those are
The
patio
community.
homes. Yes. Community
Um,
homes.
yeah, community. Because my daughter, she has a beautiful home in Seattle, but she has HOA. I think because of the community she's in.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Wow. Does anybody else have any other questions? No, this is some good stuff from Miss Karen and from Miss Christina. This is, like I said, this is why I brought them on to be guest speakers and drop some knowledge on us. So thank you both. I appreciate
Thank you
it.
for
We
having me.
we appreciate it for answering all of our questions to both of you ladies.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very informative.
Any other questions?
Oh, I was gonna. What is the young lady meant by airspace, or being yeah, the airspace. What does that mean?
Helen, do you want to elaborate on that?
Could you?
So with condos, you only own the space in between those walls. You don't own the outside. The roof does not belong to you. The exterior does not belong to you. Um, it belongs to that community managed property homeowners association is normally, or either the builder, which normally has a homeowners association that handles everything. But versus if you have a single family home, you're responsible for the roof, you're the painting and things on the exterior. When you have a condo, you only own the airspace. So that means that you can't paint the outside of your unit. You can't change there's homeowner association rules that you have to abide by as far as window coverings, the color, your yard. There are a lot of rules that you have to abide by because you do not own the exterior. You only own the airspace in between those walls.
Thank you.
Okay, okay.
You're welcome.
I have a question. So you mentioned the roof. Does that mean that the HOA has to pay if I need repairs to the roof?
Karen, you want me to answer?
Oh, you're talking about in a condominium?
Yeah, a townhome in a community that
Well, if
charges
you're
HOA
yeah,
fees.
if you're part of an HOA or you live in an HOA based community, then you have there's a blanket insurance policy that covers the building. So the HOA will pay for that. Am I wrong, Helen? I do believe that's correct, though.
That you are correct, and just like she said, it is a blanket insurance policy, so they cover a lot of things on the exterior that may go wrong, and that's what your HOAs are, and that's why they're so high because sometimes the insurance are higher in different areas.
Okay, I'll have to look at the CCNRs because we live in a gated community and we have HOA fees. But I was always under the impression that we were responsible for the roof. I mean, it was covered by a warranty for a time, but then after that, the homeowners are responsible for the roof.
But you
But
live in a single family home, is that correct?
Yeah, it's not, we don't share any walls.
Yeah. So yours is a little different. You're going to have your own homeowner's insurance. And again, like you said, it's normally under warranty by the builder for the first year. And then after that, it's up to you to insure everything. That when you have a community and it's a single family home, those HOAs are mainly just for the maintenance of the community.
Right, yeah. Like the gardening and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Very informative. Thank you.
Wow, this is great information. And also thank you, Miss Helen. I guess we got 3 guest speakers on the line. So thank you for chiming in and dropping some
I'm sorry.
knowledge on us too.
You're welcome.
All righty, all right. Well, we are gonna do one more joke. I know, you gotta like, please don't. All right, what kind of person was Boaz before he got married? What kind of person was Boaz before he got married?
A
Broke.
man. He was a man. Single man.
This is a joke. I'm gonna say broke. I won't say the second half of it, but you know, he's broke.
A rich man? Only because I know the answer.
Yeah, Mom, don't say the answer, please. He was ruthless.
Oh, that's a good one.
He was ruthless.
That's a
That
good
was
Oh
one.
that
boy,
was
oh
a good
That is
boy.
one.
I
true.
know. I tell everybody I'm gonna tell these jokes every single time I have a workshop, a conference, even when we do in-person events, I'm gonna bring it and people are gonna be like, oh, there she go with this joke book. It's a Christian joke book. So hey, I feel like I said, laughter is it's medicine. It heals us. Just laugh sometime, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a little spiel on me. I do have 3 books that are on Amazon. I'm an author, like a mom. I am a creator, and so if you guys want to check out How Miss Cheetah Got Her Spots, which is a children's book on Amazon. I also have The Poetry of Love and Everything in Between, which is also on Amazon, which is a poetry book. You guys want to go check it out, make sure. And then I just recently released the Blossom Devotional Journal. It is also on Amazon, so make sure you guys go check it out. Like I said, all my books are on Amazon. I do have a 4th book that's coming out soon. It's not out yet, but it's going to be a men's devotional journal. Like I said, we're reaching out not just to the moms and the women that, moms that are dealing with postpartum, but we're reaching out to the fathers, the men, and the children, the whole family, the grandmas, everybody, everybody. All right. So we do have a campaign called the We Care Love Basket, where I have presented these baskets to moms and to women who were either dealt with postpartum or just like I said, just dealing with life. There's a women essential basket, that I give out. These women are nominated through their loved ones, through their family members, through their neighbor, their wife, their sister, and people could nominate the woman, and she'll receive, this We Care Love basket. It's just basically saying that we care about you, we hear you, we see you. Like I said, when I went through postpartum myself, all I wanted to know is somebody hears me, somebody sees me, somebody knows what's going on with me and how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. So that's why we created these love baskets or We Care Love baskets, just to let the person and that woman know that we care and we hear you and we see you. So if you guys know a woman that you would like to nominate, you can email me. Like I said, my information's in the chat. Miss Karen's information's in the chat. Miss Christine, if you haven't already put in the chat, go on ahead and put it in the chat. So everybody can, reach out to you ladies, lovely ladies. So let's see. And I've already given out like 8 baskets already. So I'm on the move here. So so let's see. Talked about my book. We do have like upcoming fundraisers that we are trying to do. The one that we have going on right now, it is called, I'm gonna just look it up real quick on my Instagram. It is called, what is it called? Hold on. We do have what is it called? Hold on, y'all. It's a popcorn fundraiser that you guys can go onto my Instagram. Like I said, put my information in the chat. So it's going to be FreeMe Incorporated nonprofit on my Instagram and on YouTube. And you guys, purchase some popcorn. Purchase some popcorn. We're doing a fundraiser, like I guess, like I said, to help the nonprofit. So there's so many things I want to do for these women and for these moms and for these dads and stuff. But we need donations. We need donations. We need you guys to donate so that I can do all these wonderful things for these wonderful people that I want to touch, that the Lord has asked me to bless. And so the other upcoming events and fundraisers that we're looking to have is poetry slams. Like I said, I'm a poet now. I have a poetry book. So we're going to have a poetry slam, some basketball tournaments, because we're doing stuff for the men now. We want to have some fitness, workout, dance classes, some toy and clothes giveaway, some fashion shows. Like I said, I went to school for fashion, so we will definitely have a fashion show. But that would be our fundraiser. So I've partnered up with, like I said, I am a member of the LA South Chamber. I've partnered up with the WIC program, Mothers Nutritional Center, LA Care Resource Center, um, Black Girls Vitamins. And I'm trying to partner up with a counseling and therapy facility or organization, so that I can offer free therapy for women and their families that are either dealing with life, dealing with postpartum, and just going through something. Like I said, when I dealt with postpartum, I did therapy and it helped. It helped me. So I want to offer those services, free services, for these women and their families. Because I feel like therapy, there's a stigma on it, that therapy doesn't help and why should we do it? I feel like it helped. And, even if you're not dealing with, issues in your life, it's always good to talk to somebody who's outside of your family, who doesn't know you from a can of paint, who can tell you the real from a clinical standpoint. And also partner up with 1,000 grandmas that pray. So it's when 1,000 grandmas pray. And the reason why I partner up with them is because I feel like there's wisdom when it comes to the grandmothers. My grandparents are still alive, and so there's wisdom within our generation. There's 4 generations in my family. There's me, my daughter, my mother, my grandparents, and so on and so forth. So like I said, it's all about generational wealth and legacy and bringing the family back together. If anybody has any questions, the floor is open. No judgment here. Does anybody have anything they would like to say?
I
Quick
just wanted to jump in.
testimony.
I just want to jump in right quick and say I have to log off.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. No
Thank you,
problem. Thank you
ladies.
so much. I appreciate you. And if you guys have any questions, just send it to me and I'll send it to Miss Karen.
All right. Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening,
You
everyone.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So yes, the floor is open. If anybody have any testimonies or anything they would like to say before we close out and I give my last minute prayer.
I just want to clarify something real quick,
Okay.
if I
Yes.
can. So when I was talking about estate planning and the wills, I had mentioned that the will acts as a net or a catch-all, and it does, but there are certain limitations to that. So it depends on the value of the asset. If it's over a certain value, then that asset will go through probate if it's not in the trust. So just so everyone knows. And then also, really everyone should just sit with an estate planning attorney because this is just general information. Everyone's situation is different and everyone's goals and needs are very different. So I highly recommend sitting with any qualified estate planning attorney to find out what you need. And that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Christina, for
Thank you.
updating us on that. So yes,
Yeah, thank
everybody's
you.
situation is different when it comes to wills and trust and real estate and all that. We're all in different parts of our life, but we're all going to work together. So we're all going to get through this thing called life. And so yes, I want to thank you guys all for coming out to our virtual community workshop, learning about financial literacy and generational wealth. Just say a quick prayer and we'll close out if nobody has any questions. So thank you, Lord, for this night. Thank you, Lord, for this event. We ask that you will continuously bless everybody with generational wealth. We ask that you will protect us all, keep us all, and allow us all to help and support one another, and help our community. And this we pray, and we ask that you bless our speakers and keep them safe and their families safe, and bless everybody that's on this line. We thank you, we praise you, we give you all the honor and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. About that time.
All
I want to
right,
thank you guys
amen.
all again for joining our financial literacy workshop, and stay tuned to all the other things we're going to be doing in the future. So donate, donate. Oh, go on my Instagram and information in the chat. You guys buy that popcorn. Donate
I'll get
for our
mine to
fundraiser. All right, get
I'll
that popcorn, y'all.
I get mine today.
All
And I
right.
just
Well,
want to
thank
say you're
you.
doing such a super fantastic job pouring into the communities.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. So make sure you go buy that popcorn and support
That's some
support
good
FreeMe
popcorn.
Incorporated.
All right.
All right. You guys have a great night, and I love you guys, and stay tuned to all the wonderful things we're going to be doing. Have a good